Good night, Kapeash. Y'all, welcome to the Good Night Show where we tell bedtime stories of everyday living or what's going on in politics and stuff like that. I'm your host, Kapeash, and we just say good night to me, and you know how it goes. If you say something nice up in the comments or hello, I will share the hellos and all the good that. And welcome to the Good Night Show. Um, Not too many other news, but then the simple things that have been going on in the news. You know, Minnesota's still going through their chaos. People still having opinions. Other news I've been hearing is this freedom of speech thing between Antoine and the comedian guy. I wonder if that's gonna pop up. Probably. I didn't think it was. The comedian guy been popping up. Danger storms are threatening again for this weekend coming up in places that are already bad with trees are dropping down. A lot of different stories have been breaking off and going on. China is making clear the China makes clear it will relate it Australia. Shit, China and Australia got a little beef, which is fortunately crazy. Let me say a lot of things going on. How do y'all feel? How was your day? It's almost the end of the week. You know, y'all been chilling? Are you all right? You know what I'm saying? Put in the comments. Are you been having a good day? Been a good time? I appreciate anybody that out here really working hard. And I get it. And I get it. Um, I kind of want to. I want to play this because, like I said, some people really don't be thinking that I'm a WNBA fan, and I be hearing these quotes like this, and this is what be trying to scare me about having this new season come up.
Prepared in so many different. So here year round as the players of Unrivaled with equity in this league and with space, financial money, all that stuff, we could stay here, train, play, put on another season if need be.
A lot of fans were replying to this clip saying like, yeah, GG's guys, like we're not having a WNBA season, because the way she went about saying like, you know, if we don't have a season, we just have a place to go. And I'm really excited to be at Unrivaled because we have the space, we have the capacity. I don't wholeheartedly agree with her. The Unrivaled space, it's a shortened court, it's a smaller court. Obviously, they would have to expand the rosters for Unrivaled to be able to house as many players coming from the WNBA. Would they have the funds to be able to pay all of the players, to pay half, say half?
That's the good question. Do they have the funds? Will they be able to? Because I looked up today, well, there's only like 180 girls that's actually in the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't excluding the two expansion teams that are coming up this season. I think it's very important that we look at this from a fan point of view and not also looking at it from the point of view of them. And I think once we look at it from a fan point of view, it's like, y'all are the product on the court. We just now start liking y'all enough to really pay your tickets. But yet again, y'all want to shorten us because y'all not making enough money. But yet again, y'all are expecting us to really be intrigued to want to stay around and watch y'all after y'all go through this and then come back on the court and put what type of product do we think they're going to put on our court? What type? And that's a good question. What type of product do we think is going to be put on court? Is still going to be good competition? Is everybody hooping and staying in shape? Are you going to have a short season? All these questions and more keep alluding to what's going to happen and what do we think is going to take place when the WNBA gets back. I just wanted to bring that up real quick, real fast, because I thought that was somewhat important. In other news, I just realized, and I didn't, and I keep forgetting, but I need not to forget. So this is how I'm not going to forget, is this news right here.
Senators in our nation's capital have reached a last-minute deal aimed at avoiding a partial government shutdown. Democrats had pushed for funding for the Department of Homeland Security to be separated from the broader government spending package so it could be renegotiated. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the agreement does just that, keeping Homeland Security funded for 2 more weeks while lawmakers work on a long-term plan. The deal still needs approval from both the full Senate and the House before midnight to prevent a shutdown.
Nothing to worry about. So that's good, because I know a lot of us was thinking that there was going to be a shutdown, and now that we understand there's not going to be a shutdown, there's no worry, there's no boo-hoo whining and crying. We can keep the party. That's what's up. Now, did the Republicans lose out on the deal? Did the Democrats make the deal that they need? We don't know. That's hearsay, nearsay, hearsay. So this is what I was
say about this child. She was ugly. Was that it? Well, basically, she's unattractive. He just said that she was unattractive. Like, how can you sue? She's fine. Is that where it started and where it ended? And
so you remember we covered a while back these 2 guys that got into it on a TV show. I wonder if do he actually bring up the clip so people can see who we're talking about. No, he does not. So there's been I didn't think it was gonna get this deep off into it. I did. Yeah.
Think about the Google Career Certificate.
You know, talking about suing each other and going to court.
Kelly, do you like young girls? And nigga was like, well, how young we talking? 1,000 people voted. 57% said no, Anton should not file. Only 29% said so. Double the people said no. Double said Anton should not file. Then said yes. All right. Now
let's go back one more second.
Said no. But there's the 57% said no, Anton should not file. Only 29. Yeah, so double the people said no. Double said Anton should not file. Then said yes. All right. Now, Now that we've got this straight, not only is the child assumingly not a public figure, she's private, but she's also a child. A child. Now, if you want to come at me, it's fine. You got more leeway, there's more tolerance for harsh speech.
It's that freedom of speech, y'all. This is what's killing me about everything, is that it's the freedom of speech. The civil suit holding somebody accountable for freedom of speech is gonna get scary. You
can say a lot of shit about me, you can say a lot of shit about Anton, you can say a lot of shit about Tasha K, all of them. Because we're public figures. If they're like you people in the chat, y'all have more protection. It's very difficult. Y'all can file lawsuits a lot quicker. But man, there's another category. This category is for private individuals and it has more protection. Man, when you talk about private minors, you can barely say their name. They are so fucking protected. You can barely say their name. Not only are they not putting themselves out there, they're children. They're children. Let me see if I can find this. Shout out to General. General says, man, Lee losing all of the 5150 that came because he came on set faking like he was a real one. Oh, I'm faking. By reading the law to you fuckers, I'm faking, right? The legal explainer. This is why some of y'all are not successful, all right? I'm an attorney. I'm just explaining the law. oh, lead attorney, you're not a real one. You're not telling us the code of the streets. I took the bar. I didn't take the street code.
I love it. This right here separates those ones who needs to be separated. I'm not gonna call them out or say what I want to say fully. Oh man, we look too dark in here. Let me fix my mic real quick. I like what he said. I like what he said. When a person got to keep it real because it's some street value thing that we got to be a part of, that we always looking at, that I don't fucking see. Let's play it.
Attorney. I'm just explaining the law. oh, lead attorney, you're not a real one. You're not telling us the code of the streets. I took the bar. I didn't take the street code. I've been representing you fuckers for my entire adult life. You're not a real one. Nigga, get the I should kick you. I should sit you out for 5 minutes for talking shit. But I can't because I'm a public figure. So y'all can talk all this shit you want. All right, y'all can talk all this shit you want. But just know, this ain't hate. A lot of y'all, anti hating and shit. I'm telling you the law.
This is why I go to certain people as my resource, because they're telling us the law. And I think that's very important when you're looking at things and situations that's, as a lot of people say, that we do not have no control over. So I ain't got no control over it, but the law has to control over it. So we can learn by the law what to do and what not to do, how to be in a situation, how to get out of a situation. This situation, two men got into it, had some words, and the man brought a kid, a minor, into it. Is that enough to sue a person, a civil suit? Is it? Or are we more worried like what that dude said, we trying to stick to some G code?
For educational purposes, this is not legal advice.
Good.
If you don't like the law, do not shoot the lawyer. I'm the messenger. Some of y'all, a few of y'all are confused. This is all I've been doing my entire life. I'm just explaining it. Y'all go on all these other content creators platforms and you just listening to fucking random opinions, and then you come over here thinking it's the same fucking thing. I'm explaining to you how the law works. I'm not on either side.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 40.
That's how I try to take a situation, not being on nobody's side, just trying to listen to the facts before I make a judgment or a observation or anything. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. People like to try to point out and think there's something wrong with that, but from how I've been looking at it, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with taking the feelings out and like, what's the law? Where
But I'm going too far. But she's a child. Right? So typically, can a child be a public figure? Yes, but in general, they're private, and as children, they receive the most protection. Ooh, shout out to the new geeks. Says Greta Thunberg. Yes, that's an excellent. Greta Thunberg. Excellent. Well, yeah, she's a minor, right? She's grown now, but that's an excellent example. All right. So here we go. Just a quick, because we're about to get into the heavy part of the presentation. All right. Where are we at in general? Does Corey enjoy First Amendment rights? Absolutely. But typically, First Amendment is for government protection, not for private civil lawsuit protection. All right. But there is First Amendment. So Corey's good right there. But again, you cannot say just anything to anyone with no consequences. And the First Amendment does not shield you from civil liability. All right. We talked about the public figure and private figure. You guys in general are private figure. We YouTubers are public figure. Y'all public figures. Y'all can wild out against us, but we have to be very careful when we talk about you fuckers. But y'all can go ham, right? And let's just say obviously that both Corey and Anton are public figures. But what about the wife? And Lord knows what about that daughter. All right. And we see people like me.
So we're trying to sue over daughter. As soon, I'm talking about a person. I don't know. It's more like, hey, you shouldn't talk about the person's daughter. You know what I'm saying? Should have left her up out of it. If you left her up out of it, you would not be in that situation. And that's real cap. Yeah, like it or not, that it's one of those fuck arounds and find out point. You trying to be funny, you trying to get your little rocks off, your little ha ha he he, and it potentially backfired on you. So that's how you look at that. Well, that's how I look at that. Y'all know I had to.
I'd like to ask you to come up, Nikki. Come on up. Come on. She's been such a great supporter and a great supporter of Trump accounts. And I said, I'm going to let my nails grow because I love those nails. I'm going to let those nails grow. She's so good. She's been MAGA. What can I say? She's been with us all the way, right, Alex? She's been with us all the way, and just want to thank her.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more.
Y'all are gonna be upset of what y'all see going into 2027 and 2028. It's like he just building up his morality. Rah, rah, rah. People want to say, oh no, he's not building up his morality. Nope. But yet again, it just sounds like it to me. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
President making a number of major headlines at this hour, including threatening tariffs on countries first.
Well, let's start with that topic of Cuba, Tom, and notably the president here escalating pressure on Cuba, that communist island right now. Significant because what he's discussing doing is now putting tariffs on countries that sell oil to Cuba. And remember, Venezuela was the primary provider of oil to Cuba. The president, just a matter of weeks ago, earlier this month, was successful in that operation that ousted the authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, who is now being held behind bars in New York City. The president, though, trying to tighten the screws again right now. This is an executive order that was done under a national emergency declaration. We're learning right now the tariff rates. We don't know exactly what those rates would be. We don't know specifically which countries would be targeted by it. But significantly here, the president, who has had many close allies, including his Secretary of State, National Security Advisor Marco Rubio, who have viewed this as an opportunity on the backs of the success in Venezuela to try to follow up with an additional pressure point as it relates to Cuba. We're going to be watching this moving forward, Tom.
Yeah, and especially with Cuba taking more than 40% of its oil from Venezuela, now going to be cut off to the rest of the world. You wonder what's going to happen there. This is live pictures, I'm being told, of President Trump on the, I'm being told it's a black carpet maybe for the Melania documentary preview tonight. I do want to ask you, there's news about a new Fed chair as well. He announced that
during these conversations with reporters alongside his wife, the First Lady, who is celebrating the premiere of her documentary. The president announced that he would be announcing his pick for the new Fed chair tomorrow morning. That might some will make. He's been doing it, the decision making, alongside his Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, whose name had been floated as a possible Fed chair replacement. Separately, his Commerce Secretary has been helping out. Among the names that we've been keeping a close eye on, the two Kevins, as they're described. The president's top economic advisor here at the White House, whose name is Kevin Hassett, though the president has said he may want to stay in his post. And also games that we'll be watching. Obviously, the backdrop to this, Tom, as we've been reporting out for the course of many weeks, months, as it were, is this feud, really one-sided, frankly. President Trump directing his anger at Jerome Powell, who initially the president picked in his first term before Powell was re-upped by President Trump. Powell, the president, has taken to calling too late because his...
All right, good that we finna get them tariffs in. People gonna be hating, and once again, I just can't wait to see all the hating that we're gonna get from this tariffs, and people not saying, "Oh, he's doing a bad job," or people like he's not doing enough. I hear more hate for Trump than people that don't like Trump that's just in the middle. But I have been hearing more people not necessarily defend them, just defend certain things that you can't help but defend. And with that in mind, I mean, how bad can it get? Defend what is necessarily okay, and everything else that's not okay, hey, we'll work on it. You know what I'm saying? And working on stuff like that, I think is okay. What you want, boy? What you want, boy? Yeah, this is Snowy. This is my dog, my boy. 4 years, man. I had him in the show with us, which he's been in the show. Ain't that right, buddy? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? You know, he always pop in and out and give him a special little shout out, y'all. Snowy Wooey. Wooey Snowy. Just got done eating. Got him full of stomach and stuff. Yeah, go sit your tail down and take a nap. Digest that food. After the show, y'all, I'm taking him outside for his next little one, because look at him getting all fat and swole. Ain't that right? Going up there. Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. Y'all know that from Friday. That's my dog. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to put this Tuesday thing together. I got a friend that's gonna be working with me with this AI and stock. I can't wait, y'all. We really finna be getting some things together for real, taking us to the next level. Burn Live is really finna be making money. Be working with the Discord. So the Burn Live Discord, which I do have a Discord. I don't really use it as much as I probably should use it. Which is true. I really don't. But I do got a Discord, at least. You know, let me see if I can bring it up. It ain't nothing to really brag about. There's nothing to really brag about. But like I said, I really got a Discord. But really finna be getting it popping up in here. As you see, it's really not jumping, really not nothing. Got old banners, need to upgrade it. I've been a member since 2011. Oh, okay. Since 2001, 21. Been a part of different groups and stuff. This is when I had the 2 different servers in here because I wanted to be a gamer. Well, now I want to be gaming, but I was gaming with people inside the server and stuff like that. Different people that I'm a part of. But now we are going to be working on us. And working on us, the Burn Live, working on us, actually getting some popping is my next phase. And I already talked to my engineer. He's can't wait. He thinks that this is going to be a good idea. So that's what we're going to be preparing for in the future, y'all. Welcome to the jungle. We gonna shout it out. You gonna do the jungle. Robots throw out RoboCop. Oh my God, China RoboCops. China has RoboCops. Come on, man. RoboCops. That's gotta be very innovative.
Patrol in the city of Oood commands attention, less because of the uniform than the 6 high-definition cameras and advanced sensors under that hat that allow the AI-powered robot called R001 to manage the flow of traffic and people in the streets and around the clock. It looks just like a real person at first sight, says this pedestrian. Real-life RoboCops like this have been rolled out in other Chinese cities too, including Chengdu, Hangzhou, and Shanghai. One of the police instructors says the robots work alongside human traffic officers, or they can tap into the traffic lights to work solo. The RoboCops aren't designed to be particularly fast or fearsome, but they are a key part of a wider strategy here to show off China's advances in robotics and to make machines more familiar to the humans whose lives they'll soon be transforming. Chinese robots have moved quickly from factory floors to daily life since 2015, when China's government declared robotics an industry to dominate. It has scaled up to produce 595,000 industrial robots and 13.5 million service robots in the first 3 quarters of last year. Morgan Stanley predicts China's robotics market will hit $108 billion by 2028. There are now more than 150 companies making humanoids.
So how long have you worked here?
We went inside one of the leading firms called Unitree last year and met G1 EDU. The robotics industry is backed by state funding, a lot of it, as well as venture capital. China's supply chain and talent pool help too.
Describe the pace at which robots and humanoids are evolving here.
Well, they got a robot Olympics. So these guys can get better at their craft. Oh my God. Something, it does just feel like we just so behind on. And it seems like, even though we got it hidden, I think that's the main point, that people want to keep saying that it's hidden. So therefore everybody's not seeing it. But then China just rolls out like, hey, we're not hiding what we're doing. We want to get people motivated so new generation come around. Okay. That's what I see when I see that stuff. Check this out.
Is we have a very, very capable man in the room named Lee Zeldin. He may be in the room someplace. Is it his normal place? He's there. He's always there. Most reliable, solid guy. And he's done an amazing job. Could you just explain that? And also, because of the fact he's so good, California has a problem. The hardest permit to get, when they lost 25,000 or so houses, which shouldn't have been lost, they should have allowed the water to come down from the Pacific Northwest, which was very plentiful. But they didn't do that. They lost 25,000 houses. Lee and his team gave them the most complicated permit within 20 days. Everybody Every single house that burned down got the federal approval. Unfortunately, it's well over a year, and the state and the city, that's Gavin Newsom, and the city, the mayor, who's grossly incompetent, by the way, they have been unable to give permits. There are like 3 houses being built out of thousands and thousands. They have no permits. So I read about a week ago that it's possible, because of what's happened, whether you declare national emergency or something, these people are dying to build their house. They want to do something, that I could put somebody in charge from the federal government. Congratulations, Lee. And I'm putting Lee Zeldin in charge of getting them their permits, city, federal. You have the federal, you need the city and state. And I hear you have great powers over them if we want, and we're going to give you that power. We've already given you that power. So Lee Zeldin is going to work with the thousands of people that are dying to build their house. And I also recommend one other thing: give them the house plus a 10% bonus. In other words, you get a bonus, you can build your house 10% larger. They've suffered so greatly, they've waited so long, and they should be given a bonus. So I think, and I've heard this has been done before, they get a 10% bonus. They can build a house that's a little bit larger than what they had before. And I'd like to have you take it over.
Mr. President, your great Secretary of State was looking for another job. So.
I was thinking about him, but he's pretty well booked. I watched him yesterday. He did a great job yesterday, but he's a little booked up. Let's go, Lee. Talk. No more ideas like that, Lee.
When President Trump came into office, he immediately signed an executive order giving EPA 30 days to complete our Phase 1 hazardous material removal, so that the Army Corps can come in and complete their Phase 2 debris removal. So at first, the response was that was going to be impossible. Good luck trying to get it done maybe by the summer. But we figured it out because operating at Trump speed, the president was just sworn in. We had to get it done, and we got it done in less than 30 days. The Army Corps then came in and completed the debris removal. So the federal government, while the governor has tried to accuse this president of not focusing with a laser on putting all of the weight of the federal government into getting this done, it happened from the moment he was sworn into office. SBA came in. I think it was about half of the disaster loan money, billions of dollars from last year went towards these.
That fire, boy. That fire was a beast. I'm glad we did. I hope Trump do make it a way for them to get them houses and all the permits. That's crazy that we got to go through a lot of stuff just to build a house out there in California. I think they're one of the few states that put you through a lot of hassle. New York is one of them too. You shouldn't have to go through all of that just to build a house, a home. I'm seeing something that I guess I wasn't around to cover. What? I just like covering these little silly ass movies. I think that's what I'm gonna just do tonight.
Meeting ends with an arrest in the hallway when a police officer noticed a complaining citizen is wanted.
Only Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes talked with the police officer who arrested the woman in this unusual case.
It was at a Berkeley City Hall meeting this month when a woman who's wanted on domestic assault and armed criminal action charges showed up here to complain to the city council. You can see the moment officers realize.
Are you kidding me? Is my reaction, because we were trying to get her to come talk to us, so she just refused.
Berkeley Police Major Steve Runge recognized the wanted woman when she spoke at the January 12th City Council meeting.
And then not only that, complained about the police. And I'm like, lady, you're wanted by the police.
The city's recording is out of focus, but you can still see Major Runge on the right texting other officers she's there, and two officers in the back get up to be ready.
My concern was to take her into custody without an issue, without any drama.
Which they did in the hallway outside. A St. Louis County probable cause statement says Jamesia Moore stabbed her boyfriend in October 2025 and then was captured on video, reportedly saying, quote, "You're lucky I did not stab you in the bleeping chest."
When you stab somebody, that's about as serious as it gets, just short of murder.
Shout out to the Berkeley Police Department, who were really on top of their game, very aware.
St. Louis County prosecutor Melissa Price Smith.
Everybody going through something. Everybody's going through something, right? That's what they tell us. Everybody's going through something, right? But not have a warrant and show up to the place where it just amazes me. And I don't be knowing what to say, especially when you hear the story. You had a warrant and you want to complain to police officers. They're looking for you. And they're looking for you.
Police say a man accused of firing several rounds at officers is now connected to another shooting that happened days earlier in East Las Vegas.
Joshua Piguero breaking down how police linked him to that other crime.
This is video of Jarvis Williams walking near a business on December 4th near Sahara in Maryland. Minutes later, police say this is Williams seen again firing a gun with a green laser into a business. Police say Williams fired 15 rounds into this business behind me. And the only reason they were able to connect them to that shooting is because of what happened on December 17th. Police say Williams had committed 2 robberies that day at gunpoint.
Hey, let me see your hands. Get your hands up. Get on the ground.
Rather than comply with the officer's demands, Williams hopped into a U-Haul truck and backed into an officer. Williams led Metro Police in a chase across the valley. He eventually stopped in North Las Vegas. As he gets out of the truck, Metro body cam captures him pointing a gun at an officer and firing a round. Officers fired 7 rounds at Williams. None landed. Police say he eventually barricaded himself in his mother's house before surrendering. Inside the home, police found this gun, the same one he reportedly used on December 4th. Joshua Piguero, 8 News Now.
Now, we do want to let you know that Jarvis Williams has a hearing in Clark County District Court scheduled for next Tuesday. Still facing charges in North Las Vegas Justice Court related to the police shooting, which includes attempted murder. We, of course, will be following those appearances. Brian.
Gambling.
Bad boy. Listen. This a notion of the fuck around and find out mode. Why do people want to fuck around and find out? What I mean, what is gotta be hard, you gotta be from the streets. Life gave up on you, nobody wants you, nobody will give you opportunity. Everybody's just against you. Everybody's just against you. That's all we keep saying, y'all. That's all I can say. Is just, one day it's gonna stop, but then we know it's not. Until next time, y'all. Good night, Kapeash.